All right, so it is April 3rd, day 2 of full construction. What I've gotten done so far is, after I showed that I pulled this tile up, I came through with my chisel hammer and chipped away some of the old thin set mortar. And over here in the shower pan, I went ahead and cut out the old drain that was over here, and I've roughed in the new pipe for the tub drain, and I've backfilled it with dirt. And I still need to pour cement, but I also need to level out that whole pad there so that when the tub is sitting in there, the slope of the tub will actually bring it down to the drain. And right now it's sloping towards the middle because it had a shower before. It's actually sloping, I think, towards the outside wall. So we'll fix that. And the next thing I'll have to do in here is I'll have to put some supports well, I don't have to, but I'm going to put a 2x6 across where I estimate I'm going to put my curtain rod, mount my curtain rod there. And then also down here, the way I'm going to run this PEX through is I'm actually just kind of building an angle in this corner so that it'll just allow it to kind of bend around here. And I'll have a couple of holes in the support studs going across here, but not too much drilling will need to be done. And I haven't decided exactly when I'm going to build that wall up. Probably when I'm doing the drywall. That way I can go ahead and put the drywall in there too. But we shall see. One of those things that will remain to be seen. So after I've got my supports in here, then I'm going to put my drywall up along the back side of the shower wall. And I've already got this one cut for the little notch down at the bottom there. But because of the support piece over there, I actually need to put these pieces in, so I'll need to cut a 1/2 inch off of this piece that I already have lengthwise, and then put that up in the corner. Then I'll have to pull my tub so that I could put all the drywall across there and get all of my water supplies through the drywall. And that would be the last piece. That's the last drywalling that I'll have to do. Then I can start doing my mudding. So the goal today is have all that drywall up with the support pieces in and the first coat of mud. And anything else that I can do in addition to that will just be bonus stuff. But since the drywall the mud has to dry, that is key to get started. So I ran my my cup brush over this tub. You can still see it has a little bit of rust. Some of that just didn't really want to come off. But I have a product that is a concrete and metal cleaner, prep, whatever, for paint. So I'm going to apply that. I still need to get out the fine wire brush wheel. Let's see. I'll break out the wire brush wheels instead of the cup and clean up a few other items around the feet and things like that. Like this here, in between the toes and things like that, getting the rust out of there and the paint out of there. That'll be an in-between task or a downtime task that I'll clean that with the wire brush and then come through and I'll put the solvent or whatever it is on there, and might even get some paint on the tub today, so we'll have to see about that as well. But that's the update for now. April 3rd, day 2, and we'll keep the updates coming. Okay. Good afternoon and welcome back to Boisterous Cock Farmstead. So we are on day 3 now of the Operation Wife and Son are out of town, remodel, rehab, whatever. And it's the afternoon, as I said, and I got a little bit of a later start today because I was up late last night. And what I ran into was this wall that I had built. And I purposely actually built it with screws so that if I needed to, I could take it back apart and put it back together. And so what I did was I dry fit the tub in here because it's going to be very, very tight. And I wanted to make sure that I had the allowances. And I'm still not 100% sure that by the time the tile is on this back side here, that we're going to have the room. But I'm working with what I've got. The only other alternative that I would have had is if I'd actually, instead of using a 2x4, I could have ripped it down and made it a 2x3 or whatever. But after setting the drain and everything like that, it's kind of too late to go back. So we're gonna hope that everything fits the way it needs to. But so this morning, what I got done is I went ahead and put up all the mold resistant drywall around the shower area. I roughed in the stub outs and cut the drywall for that too. And there is a little bit of a wiggle room on where this pipe is. It can play just a little bit. So once we get to that stage, I haven't decided exactly where all's going to get tile. I think that I'm going to do tile all along this back wall here, but I think around this wrap, I'm just going to leave it just painted drywall there. It's going to be behind the tub, so I'm not really too concerned about it. And same thing right here too. I think this is going to stay just drywall. And I'm going to put a ledge cap on here. So haven't decided if I'm going to make this whole area here wooden and just make sure I seal it really well, or if I'm going to put tile on that little triangle piece there and then build the cap up above the top. But because I've got this collapse right here, this is going to have 1x trim all the way down to the floor tile, and then the floor tile will come up and over and into the shower pan here, the tub pan, and I'll have a 1x running across here. And I think it's going to be flush with this outside wall on this end, but I think there'll be a little bit of an overlap on here, but that may change once I get a little bit further into it. So the other thing last night is I had a lot more chipping and things like that I needed to do. We got the tub pulled, or the toilet pulled, and I chipped around there. So what I'm going to work on now is I'm going to put on the first coat of drywall, mud, and tape all throughout the room. Pull the lights out, at least out of the recess there, and let them dangle. Yesterday I got the feet epoxied on the bottom of the tub. So the next stage on that is I need to rough up the old enamel and prep that for the resurfacing paint. And that's still, I ordered that like 4 or 5 days ago, and it still hasn't even, it says that it's shipped, but it hasn't shown any like scan or anything like that. So it's supposed to be here by the 7th. I'm counting on that because it takes like 3 days to cure. So if I have it cured by the 10th, I can set it into place, and then I have to go pick up my wife and my son on the 11th. So I really need that to come in. And if not, then I'll have to move it into place when it hasn't fully cured, and I won't be using it for at least a day or two, and then I'll just insist that my wife doesn't use the tub, although she'd probably be heartbroken if that happened. If I had it all set up and ready to go and she couldn't use it yet. But there's still a lot of stuff to do, and on top of that, I would like to get the floor done in the spare bedroom here. So over the next few days, I'll be trying to prep for that in between doing the drywall mudding and sanding and texturing and painting and everything like that in the bathroom here. Plus I've got tile work to do in the bathroom. So if we've got 3 days before the spray is supposed to be here. If I can get the floor done in that room, get the drywall all done in here, then I can start tiling in here, which will give me 3 days to work in here before the tub cures if the spray comes in on time, and everything will line up perfectly. How many times does that happen? Rarely ever, so I'm sure we'll have to hit a curveball here or there. But anyway, so that's the update for today, and I'm gonna get to the mudding, and I'll keep you guys posted as to what progress I make. All right, welcome back to Boisterous Cock Farmstead, and want to let you guys see the progress. I got the first coat of drywall mud up in the room here, and it took me a while to get ready. You can still see right up here the dark seams. That's not quite dry yet, and it's coming up on noon here pretty soon. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start mixing up some concrete and filling in these drain patches for concrete. I'm not worried about leveling the floor just yet. I have a self leveler for that, but I may actually try to level the tub pan at the same time that I'm pouring this. I haven't decided yet. Depends on how much concrete I need. But the other thing is, I've got this board. It's an old bottom plate for a room division, and it's loose, creaky. I'm a little concerned of how it will shift and everything underneath the tile once the tile is in. So I'm gonna pull that up, and I'm gonna pour concrete down that channel as well. So today, at least for the first part of the day, is going to be concrete work. I'm going to use an etching or a rust treatment for the cast iron tub, wash that off, and then spray paint it when it's dry, and on just the bottom, the feet and the bottom. But in getting ready for this concrete work, I was looking for a bucket to use, and I want to show you guys a tip. If you don't already know this, if you do a lot of home renovations, you probably have picked this up over the years. But if you take your old paint bucket, this is one. I ran out of paint and had to get another color of the I had to get another bucket of the wall color gray to finish the living room here. And so this is with latex paint. You can see all the little dry dribbles and everything like that. I'm not too concerned about that on the outside, but if you just open the top, let your paint dry out that's in here, all you have to do is you can just peel this all out, mostly in one piece around the sides till you get to the bottom, and just kind of dig out. This is what dried paint looks like, and you have a nice clean bucket here. Obviously I got to spray it out because there's a little bit of dry paint flakes and stuff in here. So that's what I'm going to use for my concrete, so I don't have to dirty up another bucket that I paid good money for. So a little bit of a freebie tip. So we're out in the mobile home, and quick little update. The meat birds are growing. Today is, they're 3 weeks old today, and last night I actually turned the heat lamp off for them, and they actually did fairly well. I'll go out into the greenhouse here. Woo, it's bright. Okay, so here is just a bunch of different boards that I've got that you can see they're various lengths, widths, whatever. Well, the width is the same unless they've been broken. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick through all these old roofing boards, deck boards, and you can see a lot of these have like end damage and stuff like that. But what I plan to use these for is just the 1x for the window casings, and I'll cut these to length, rip them down to whatever they need to be on my table saw, and fill in any holes that I need to fill in with some wood putty, give them a nice coat of white paint, and be good to go. So this is going to save me probably a couple $100 with today's lumber prices. It's something I've already got on hand. Some people would say, oh, don't use that old wood, but one, a lot of it is not in the best shape. I plan to still make a couple of doors out of this too. I'm going to make the pantry door, or the mechanical room door, and the sliding door between the bathroom and the master suite out of this wood as well. So it's just a way to kind of incorporate the original house back into the new design, repurpose it, reclaim the stuff that I've already got it on hand, so it's one less expense for me.